She came in at 10:03 p.m. Her heels clicked across the tile like punctuation marks on a sentence I hadn't written. She didn't glance at me. She just walked straight to the kitchen, dropped her purse on the counter, and poured herself a glass of wine like this was any other night. Then she turned. Her lipstick was smudged. Her blouse was buttoned wrong. She looked at me with this smug, lazy smile and said the words that would split my life clean in two. I had a one-night stand, and I'd do it again. That's it. No apology, no explanation, no remorse. She took a sip of wine and walked past me like she hadn't just set fire to our marriage in 10 syllables. I didn't yell. I didn't ask who, or why, or when. I didn't even put down my fork. I just kept chewing. We'd been married 7 years. I knew every tone in her voice, every habit in her body. The way she leaned on me when her mother died. The way she twisted her ring when she was lying. The way she cried the first time we couldn't pay rent. And I picked up 3 extra shifts just to cover her medical bills. I had loved her through every version of herself. The anxious one. The ambitious one. The broken one. But I had never loved this version. The version that could look me in the eye and deliver betrayal like a casual update. So I nodded once. Just once. And she thought it meant I accepted it. She smirked. Like I was weak. Like she'd won. But inside me, something colder than hate took root. I didn't sleep that night. I lay next to her and listened to her breathe. I memorized the rhythm, the little catch in her inhale when she dreamed. I used to find it endearing. Now it sounded like the whisper of a stranger. She had no idea what she'd done. She didn't just cheat on me. She mocked me. And that, I could not forgive. So while she slept, I started thinking. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to dismantle her world quietly, surgically, with the same patience I'd once used to build our life together. She lit the match, but I was going to decide what burned. The next morning, she was humming. She wore my old college hoodie like some ironic trophy, padding barefoot across the kitchen tile while scrolling through her phone. "You want coffee?" she asked, casual, like last night had never happened. I watched her back as she reached for the French press. It struck me then how much I used to love that sight, my wife, quiet in the morning light, tucked into the routine we'd built. Now it looked like a stranger rehearsing a role she no longer deserved. "Sure," I said. My voice was steady. She didn't notice the pause. She thought she'd won. She thought I'd absorbed the blow and folded under it like a doormat. She had no idea I was already unraveling everything beneath her. I started with her finances. While she took a shower, I sat at my laptop with a second mug of coffee and a face she didn't recognize. I changed all my passwords, checked the bank statements, ran every card we shared. A few purchases I hadn't noticed before stood out: urban bookings in another city, ride-share charges that didn't match her work location, odd late-night food orders for two. The evidence wasn't just hiding, it was mocking me in plain sight. That evening, I texted my old college roommate, Chris. He works in cybersecurity now. Quiet guy. Brilliant. I simply wrote, "Need help recovering deleted data. Discretion required." He responded in minutes, while she lounged on the couch binge-watching shows and fake laughing at her phone. I uploaded a copy of her phone's contents to a shared cloud drive. I'd airdropped it while she showered. She never even noticed the access prompt. Chris said he'd have everything by the next day: texts, messages, deleted photos, even the location trail. I looked over at her as she laughed at something on her phone. She still believed I was in the dark, still believed I was that man from last night, the one who just kept chewing. But something had shifted. I wasn't hurt anymore. I was focused. Every betrayal needs a witness. And soon, I'd have more than enough. That night in bed, she curled up beside me like nothing was broken. Her arm draped over my chest. I stared at the ceiling. I used to think love was a bond you protect. Now I understood some bonds were meant to break. And I wasn't going to break quietly. 2 nights later, while she slept beside me with her mouth slightly open and her phone resting on the nightstand, I slipped it into my palm and crept out of the room. I had a burner phone in my hoodie pocket, already linked to a cloned copy of hers. Chris had walked me through every step, even the recovery software. I felt like I was operating on a body, methodical, calm, and shaken. The data download took less than an hour. What I saw made my stomach churn, but not with pain, with clarity. There wasn't just one man. There were 5 different names, Different dates, different cities. Photos, selfies, explicit jokes. Hotel reservations, payment confirmations, Venmo notes with inside joke emojis. Deleted texts that read like an entire novel of betrayal. Last night was insane, can't stop thinking about you. He's clueless. I could walk in dripping and he'd still hand me coffee. Fridays on. Where the red. I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I screenshotted everything. I made a folder for each affair, labeled them by city and date, collated photos, cross-referenced locations with her calendar, entries. Then I backed it all up to 2 encrypted drives and emailed a copy to a private server Chris had set up for legally RCHIVING. By the time I crawled back into bed, she stirred and murmured, "You okay, babe?" I kissed her forehead. "I'm good," I whispered. And I was, because now I had everything. Proof, dates, faces, coordinates, tone. No more wondering. No more hoping she'd snap out of it. No more trying to fix a woman who had already burned the blueprint of our marriage and used the ashes to paint lies. This wasn't heartbreak anymore. This was war. But she didn't even know a battle had begun. For the next week, I played the part. I made her breakfast. I folded her laundry. I laughed at her fake work stories. She thought I was healing, that I was weak, that I needed her. But every smile I gave her was a quiet farewell. Every "I love you" was a countdown. She couldn't see the storm behind my eyes. I had every weapon I needed. And now, I just had to choose when to pull the trigger.